Good morning. I've got this new day pack here that I want to do a review on for you because I highly recommend it. I use a lot of packs up here in Alaska, but a day pack is what I use most often because I'm usually not that far from home, within a couple miles, but it's nice to keep a little bit of survival gear with you, extra water, sandwiches, stuff like that, rain gear, extra mittens, all that kind of good stuff with you. So having a pack with you most of the time is a really good idea. Like I said, I've gone through a lot of packs since I've been up here, but this one I've owned a couple months and I really like it. It's very sturdy, robust, and for as small as it is, it's amazingly roomy. I can fit just about anything in here I really need to get me through in either a bad situation or just making sure I'm completely equipped for a day out in the woods. Now down below this video in the description area, you will find a link directly to Amazon where I got this pack, and if you go click on that link, it will show you more information on this pack as far as specifications on the type of material, thickness, stuff like that I'm not going to get into. I'm more interested in the meat and potatoes of it. But if you buy this pack through that link, I will get a commission for the sale. Now what that's going to do is it's going to help keep me up here in the sticks where I belong, and it'll help me make more videos about my hunting, trapping, cooking, fabricating, blah blah blah, all that other stuff that I hope you enjoy watching. So with that, I'd like to get on with the review, and I'll be cutting in here and there and commenting and stuff like that. But let's go back to the house. I got a little table set up, and we'll start inspecting this pack both outside and inside. Before we look at the inside, let's take a quick look at the outside. This is a really sturdy pack. This material is as heavy or heavier than on some of my actual backpacking, camping backpacks. Most of my day packs were much lighter weight than this. Like I said, meant more for college students and high school kids and stuff like that. They weren't really designed for the outdoors. And in fact, most day packs that you would even buy back in the 80s and stuff like that were not nearly this sophisticated. I really like the MOLLE straps. Those are just a brilliant idea. Why they weren't thought of or invented decades ago, I don't have a clue. But it's really great for strapping extra pouches on when you need that extra thing and you don't want to go through and change your pack all around. The straps to let this expand and actually to suck it back up when you don't have a full load. I wasn't sure about those at first, but actually I think they're a good idea now. It helps prevent that floppy, loose, empty bag feeling on your back when you don't have a big load in there. It keeps everything really compact and close to your back. The zippers I really like. They're so robust and heavy duty. That was the problem with most of my other day packs, actually, is the zippers would give out, and obviously if you can't close your pouches in compartments, it really doesn't do you much good. But these should last a long time. They're very heavy duty. The zipper pulls are great. You don't even have to look for them. They're just right there. The straps, while they're lightweight, they're very comfortable. I was afraid that they might be a little too chintzy, but I haven't had a problem with them at all. I don't use the chest strap at all. I never have, even on my big packs. I've never been much into those, as well as the belt strap. I'm not going to take it off. I suppose I could. They got buckles for it and stuff, but I'll just leave it on. But I don't use them, but they are there if you need. The straps on the bottom are just big enough for a rain jacket or a tarp or something like that. There's no quick releases on them, but I don't think you need quick releases necessarily. You're not going to get into a downpour that quick. I don't think that you'd need to have quick releases for your raincoat, but that's it. It's a great compact pack with a lot of room inside. It's much roomier inside than it actually looks on the outside. So let's take a look on the inside and I'll show you what I carry around on my day-to-day tramping. Okay, let's take a look at the inside now. We'll start out with the small top exterior pocket. I keep the things I think might be the most important on the outside pockets, so I don't have to dig as deep for them. Obviously you're going to want a headlamp with you, as well as extra batteries. You can't have too many batteries, but you can only carry so many too. So that's good for about, I figure, 18 hours or so of continuous light with that particular unit. I keep a signal mirror with me, good not only obviously for signaling airplanes, but for inspecting for eye injuries and things like that. And this was actually my shaving mirror when I was in the service and doing a lot of backpacking up on Mount Rainier and in the Rockies and stuff like that. I like it because it is large and much easier to use than the smaller ones, especially for shaving. Here's some IR tape, and it's not actually tape, it's just cloth. Carried this when I was in the military too, and we would use it for signaling actually, but this is more of a search and rescue device in this particular pack, because it'll show up well on IR and FLIR and other stuff that the search and rescue uses these days. So if I was ever in trouble, misplaced or anything like that, this would help locate me in the dark, if I was in an open area, of course. This little pouch goes with me everywhere when I go on a walkabout or anything like that, where I'm going to be more remote than I normally am. This is a U.S. Army pen gun flare that Uncle Sam was kind enough to give me for my birthday one year. And it comes with 7 flares. It's got green, red, and white. And these are for last ditch signaling if I see a plane, if I need to signal it and there's no light for using a signal mirror or anything like that. Good thing to have around. It might also kind of dissuade a bear from giving me any trouble. Don't know about that, but I'll let you know. Now the larger exterior pocket contains my old buck knife, which as you can see has a lot of wear on the sheath. It's been with me since I was about 16 years old, and that's more years than I want to count right now. I also have my my tack light, very good little flashlight, inexpensive, but very good lights, very bright. Keep that with me as well, along with extra batteries. As far as sharpening my knives, I don't carry a stone with me in situations where I'm using the survival pack or anything like that. I prefer these little pocket sharpeners. They're just easier for me to use in a situation where I'm outdoors, and as long as you keep up on your knife sharpness, these work just fine. And they're inexpensive as well. While I'm not big on multi-tools, I do keep a little multi-tool with me. I find that items that try to do too many things don't do very many of them very well, but I do keep one with me, and it's small enough where it's not in the way. I carry another knife as well. This is a cold steel. I like it because it's slimline. It's more of a backup to the backup, but because it doesn't take up too much space, I keep it with me. This pocket also has additional pouches in it. Obviously these are for pens and markers, which I keep markers with me. And this device here that I invented myself, I don't know, other people might do this, but I just took a recipe card and laminated it with packing tape. And my theory is that if I'm ever misplaced and perhaps people are looking for me and I'm not going to be where I'm presently at, I need to move for some reason, that I can leave a note with this because it's weatherproof now. I can use the marker and attach this to a tree or whatever and give people some indication who might be looking for me, an indication of where I'm going. Now, for the center pocket, got all sorts of goodies in there. In this pouch here, we have quite a lot of stuff. We have a small survival manual just in case you forget anything or there's something you haven't encountered before. It's pretty informative. I have 550 cord and some little S-hooks which are good for helping construct a shelter. Inside the Ziploc bag, there are more blades for my utility knife. I always keep a utility knife with me. In this little pouch here, there's I guess I call this my first aid pouch. There's some sutures in there, and some butterfly bandages, and some gauze, and rubber bands, and all sorts of little stuff to seal a wound. There's super glue and junk like that in this little bag. I need to get a new bag for it. That one's pretty toast. There's also a little bit of TP in there. I prefer the real TP, but keep some of that around, even if it's used for other things, like, you know, mopping up a gashed finger or something like that. There's also a space blanket, which is also good for signaling, as well as some handy wipes. There's also an empty little utility pouch that I keep in there just for the heck of it. Here's a large bandana / cravat that I can use for a sling, or mopping my head, or a myriad of other uses. Here's another gift I got from my good old Uncle Sam, and this is my U.S. Army compass. Hasn't failed me yet. I also have a pair of mini binoculars. I think these are 10 powers actually, and they're much in need of being cleaned. In this little box here, this is pretty cool. I'm going to open this up in a different segment. This box contains a striker tool, a whistle, some tinder, another signal mirror, and a little chainsaw chain with handles on it for cutting down firewood. It's pretty cool. I really haven't used it other than playing with it, but it's a pretty awesome little compact unit. In the main pouch, pocket, whatever you want to call it, look, we have the real deal. I really like carrying real toilet paper with me. It goes back to my backpacking / army days. Those little army ones are just silly. I always carry real toilet paper with me. This is going to be a cook set, but right now I don't have everything the way I want it, so this is just a container for more fire starting material. I carry matches with me, as well as a lighter. These are very old school strike anywhere matches. I also keep some of the striker in there with it, or a piece of emery cloth or something like that, just to ensure that these strike up good. They're not all created equal. You get boxes of them that just don't light as well as others, so I always got a little insurance in there. Here are a couple other methods of getting the fire going, different types of tinder and stuff like that, as well as my favorite. Now, if you're in a real hurry to get a fire going, or you're not feeling well, or it's getting dark quick, these devices here are awesome. I love these. What they are is they're just toilet paper tubes, or something similar, toilet paper tubes or paper towel tubes that are filled with a mixture of sawdust and candle wax. And you light them up. You can light them up with anything. They light right away, and they burn hot, high, and for a long time. And I always like to keep a bunch of these with me. They don't weigh anything. They're easy to make, and good insurance. I like having insurance with me. I have some camp food with me, although most of the time this would be replaced with you know, like a Rubbermaid, what do you call them, little plastic container with a sandwich or biscuits in it or something like that, as opposed to this, because I'm usually not gone all day. This is just there for bulk, I guess. And also a water bottle. In this pocket here, this mesh pocket, there are some miscellaneous dry bags. There's a zippered pocket back in here, which does not have a use as of yet, but it will. Now, the very back pocket here is big enough for a camelback. Doesn't have any water at the moment, but it also adds padding to the back of the pack, helping it make it even more comfortable than it already is, and it already is really comfortable. So that's about it. Forgot to mention the raincoat on the bottom, but that's it. That's kind of in a nutshell what I carry with me most of the time. A lot of it isn't really needed most of the time, but it's there. I don't have to think about packing it at a later date, and that's the whole purpose, right? You're pretty much ready to go. Like I said, it's not complete. I don't consider this a survival pack. You'd have to set it up specifically for that, and I think it's just maybe a little bit small for that, but it does have a lot of room. With all of this stuff in there, it's still not full, so there's still space you can utilize in there. So that's it. That's the inside of the pack and what I carry with me most of the time, and it's quite a lot, but it's not enough to weigh a lot. So let's just continue on with another aspect of this review, and we'll carry on with a few other things, and we'll wrap it up in another few minutes. The last thing I promised to show you out of the day pack was this kit by Ultimate Survival, and it contains some fire starting material, a whistle, and other survival tools, and a handy dandy little case that I will show you right now. This item is pretty cool and it's very effective. It's basically just a chainsaw chain with handles on the end. Very useful for cutting down trees and cutting your wood up. Very compact as well. It does take a little bit to get it back in the box, so I'm not going to even try right now. But this works very, very well, and it's a really good idea, and much better than those old style ones back in the 70s and 80s and stuff. That was just like a little barbed wire thing that always broke. It also contains a whistle for emergencies, instead of shouting yourself to the point where you're hoarse and can't talk at all. It also has some tinder in it, and I do have more of this as well. Of course, your signal mirror with instructions. Signal mirrors are really easy to use. You used to do it when you were a kid, just instinctively with pieces of tin and stuff like that. But the signal mirror is always a good thing to have around. And also, this here is a fire starter. What differentiates this one from the other ones, though, is that this can actually be operated one-handed. The other ones all work good, but if you were to have an injured hand or something like that, you'd still be able to use this one. To use this one, you just pry up on this little tab here, rotate this around, put her on there. You can use this the conventional way with a knife if you want to, but the way this one works is you press down on this tab, and that's the same tab you used to unlock it, and then press it down on a firm surface. So for example, you would have your tinder here. You would just put it next to the tinder or on the tinder and strike down. I'm not going to actually do it here. I am going to do a full review on this for you, though, and it will be available very, very soon. This is a very good little unit here. I really like it. It was a gift, and thank you very much. I've had it for a few years now. I've played with it. I've never actually started a fire with it, although I have ignited stuff and just got things going. I don't carry just one way of making fire, obviously. I would prefer to use other methods other than this, but you should know how to use this, and I'm confident with lighting tinder and getting small little burns going as opposed to a big campfire. I don't do big campfires. I'm home every night. I'm just a suburban kind of guy, I guess. And there is an instruction manual as well. I'm not even going to try to put this back in here because it'll take forever, and you don't want to be, sitting here watching me do that. But it's a really cool little kit, and I'm going to do a full review on it, and just let you know how it works and show you in examples and stuff like that. So that's it. I'm going to eventually get this back together sometime this week and put it back in my day pack where it belongs. Well, as you can see from the time I shot the opening clip to this closing clip, we got a bit of snow. And why I didn't film the closing clip at the same time and the opening clip is anybody's guess, and would require years of study and a sizable government grant. So I'll leave that up to you if you want to apply for the grant, because I got too many other things to do rather than figure out something I already know that I don't think clearly all the time. And I ramble a bit, but that's just me. Anyway, I hope you found the video informative and helpful. This pack by World Famous Sports is a really good pack, and I highly recommend it. Really liking this pack a lot, and I'll probably end up buying a few more just for various other purposes, like a go-to-town pack, for example, from when I'm going into the big city of Wasilla, that kind of thing. If you want to check it out, there is a direct link to Amazon below this video in the description area. That's right above the comment area. The comment area is where you will obviously leave comments and tell me what you think and things that maybe I don't want to hear, but it's a free country still. But in the description area, there will be a direct link to Amazon. It'll take you right to this pack, so you can check out the more detailed specifications on material and stuff like that, and actual dimensions. I didn't get into that at all. And if you buy it, as I've mentioned before in some of my other videos, I will get a small commission for the sale of this pack. Now that will go a long way towards keeping me out here in the sticks where I really belong, where I really love to be, and I can make more videos showcasing all of the stuff I do out here, everything from grouse hunting to fishing to cutting firewood, baking, fabricating equipment, breaking equipment, fixing equipment that I've broken, all that kind of stuff. And I would really appreciate it. So please like, subscribe, because there's more videos coming, and check out Amazon, and I sure appreciate the time you invested in watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.